this is Lena from Bespoke Craft Designs. I've actually already done this video and for some reason it didn't take. I don't know whether I didn't press the button or there was too much other things on the camera and it didn't take, so I was happily working away and you saw me do the designs on these, but I had to do some more because I went on thinking the camera was working and all the ones that I'd originally put the gesso on, I'd gone ahead and sprayed up. So I'll show you these at the end, but I'm going to do some more now. So last night before I went to bed, I did some more stenciling with the gesso so that I could go over the whole process again today. So I'm going to use, for this, I'm going to use some of the Lindy's sprays, and also I've got some of the Dylusion sprays. Now on these few here, I've got some reds and some blue backgrounds and some pale backgrounds. Some have been stenciled, some have just got gesso on, so you'll get a bit of a different effect on them. Now, typical. It did spray early. I get it all over my fingers, but then it doesn't spray. Let me just see why that isn't spraying. I don't think that one is either. There's only a tiny bit left of those. Well, let's try this other blue. Now this blue, the Dylusions blue, is London blue, and it's a very dark blue. So, oh, as you can see. So, I just want a bit more on that one. Have I got any on that one? I've got a little bit on there. That's why I like something in the background, because I just want a tiny bit there and a bit more there. That's it. I'm just going to give these a quick dry, and then hopefully I can get some of my Lindy's sprays to work. So it is just hold them down so they don't blow all over the place. So I'm just going to give these a dry. Got Dropsy today. I'm dropping everything on the floor. Cloth ready. Yeah, so they're nice and dry. And I've got more blue on some than I have on others. So what I'm going to do for this next colour, I'm just going to move them on and off my paper, and then I won't get too much. Put a bit of something else on there. A bit of something else on these for a start. Let's have a look at these. So I'm a bit disappointed. I'm not going to, these are like flat colours, so I want something with a little bit of shimmer in. I'll try my green. There's quite a lot left in the green. Let's see. Let's try this. Oh yeah. Well, it's working anyway. Gonna get some lovely backgrounds as well. Right, just try that. I definitely want some of this yellow shimmer on here, so I'm going to have to splash it on because the spray isn't working. I must get myself some more of these because I love these. Actually, it looks quite effective splashed on anyway, but I did want to spray a little bit. I love playing with these paints and sprays, and oh, I just have such fun. Just checking, I am filming at the minute. Right, let's have a dry of those. Right, those have worked really well. I'm just going to turn this paper around so I can see them a bit better. And bring them into the camera. They look really effective. Oh, get them right in the camera, Lena. There, they look really effective. Where I've splashed quite a lot of that yellow on there, that looks lovely. They're all slightly different. I love that you can see the swirls from the gesso, and then you've got the difference in colours. I shall do a bit of inking around the ends when I've finished, but for now we'll leave those to one side. And look at my cool background there with those. So these red ones, they've got a bit of, well, red one. There's a red one, a greeny one, and a grey one. I've got some blue. I'm going to try this time. This is Lemon Zest. It's another Dylusions one, but it'll be a flat one again. So we'll see what this looks like. We'll try this. And then I'll have to dry that again now. Tracing that one all over the page. Right then, because I've done the gesso just through the stencil and I've left the different colours in the backgrounds, that's left some different effects. This red one needs something just to brighten it up a bit. It needs a bit of shimmer especially. I think they all do need a bit of shimmer. So I'm going to try and use some of this shimmery blue one. This is the Lindy's Stardust Sprays, excuse me. And this one is called Sassy Sapphire, and it is beautiful, this, but I'm going to have to splash it on. Oh, look, it comes out all over me. I always end up a wonderful colour when I've been messing with these. I've just managed to get some of the other dyes out my nails, and then I'm back again doing some more. Let's have a look, get a bit more on this one. And I think just before I actually dry this, I'm going to try putting some yellow on. I might regret it before I actually dry it. Let's see. It shouldn't make mud or anything, not these, even if the mix will just make like a greeny colour. So I should be okay with these two colours together before drying in between. Let's try that, see what that does. There we go. I still think some of that red needs lifting a little bit, so we'll have a look at that at the end and see what we're going to do. I'm just going to move those out of the way now and try a different combination of colours this time. What am I going to go for this time? I've got to find some of my bits and pieces first, don't I? Here they are. Let's turn this over, see a bit better. So we've got some with not quite so much of the swirl on, and we've got a few actual just gesso without any of the stenciling on, and then a few more there with the stenciling on, which I'll do in a minute. So let's do these few. So these, oh, that's got a bit on both sides, so it doesn't really matter if you get some on both sides, because then when they've dried you can decide which one you like the best. You might prefer one to the other. So I tend to do that. If they've got a bit of gesso on, I'll get a bit on both sides, you know, dab it with the bits in the background and use that. Right, let me make sure I've got you in screen. So what we're going to go for this time, I've got, what's this one? This one is High Maintenance Magenta. Again, it's a Lindy's. Let's give this a go. Just be aware that if you are spraying like this, that you've got a bit of protection, and you're covering things that you don't want to get sprayed, because everything does get very sprayed. Right, I quite like that. Let's dry that first, I think. mean, if you didn't want the colour in the background of the card, you could, you know, you could colour it completely with gesso, because even the ones that I've just used gesso and not gone through the stencil, I haven't completely covered it. And I could have done, but haven't. Not on these anyway. I might do some like that, but I haven't done on these ones. Right, then what's this other one? I don't know if this will be enough of a combination. This is Prima Donna Purple. So again, the Lindy's. See, I don't know how much difference this will be, so we'll give it a bit of a, just give it a bit of a spray. Oh, come on. Oh, I was trying to do a tiny bit there. Oh, gosh. Never mind, never mind. Let's dry that. There's a lot of drying in between on this. I dry very quickly with the heat gun. That just gives them a quick blast so you can then go on and put another colour on. You get some real good effects with them. So some take more than others. Some cover it right. I do feel these need a bit of splashing now. That one's been sprayed, but it looks like it's been splashed. Let's have a look. Do we go with that yellow again? No, I think I'm going to go with the blue one again this time. Have some of this blue one here. Why not? Let's go completely different. Trying to get these little ones with poor aim. Seem to be able to splash everything else but where I want. Obviously, as I'm still doing this, some are drying. Oh, that's it. I wanted you to have a bit more. Might have to just tap on that one because I'm not getting it. What I don't want to do is overdo it. So, these give a lovely shimmer. Sometimes it's nice to have a bit. I mean, you can dull it down a bit with you. Just look at the state of me then. I get more on me. Right, I think those ones are fine for now. We'll move them out the way. And then we'll do the last few. Let me just bring in another piece of paper so that you can see a bit. Actually, I could just do it straight onto this background. I think you can see on this background okay. So these ones, as I say, I had to do some more last night as well, so there's some more big ones because so the original ones had all been sprayed. So I'm going to do something slightly different on these. I think I'm going to try some brush out. Now, do I wet them first? Bearing in mind there is a bit of gesso, but they are on just card. And they're not all gessoed, so they're not all protected. But I'm going to try it, see what it does. And then you've got to have a play sometimes, haven't you? If you don't have a play, you don't know. So I thought if I've got this background on, I'll obviously get some colour on here as well. You don't need an awful lot of this, but I am knocking quite a lot on because I want to see what it does when you spray it first. And then react. Have I got any water in my little spray? Got my little spritzer spray? I haven't. Yeah, the Ranger, these. I've had them forever and I don't use them very often because they only hold a tiny bit of water, these little things. I tend to use my big sort of water guns, these ones that hairdressers use, you know, the big, I don't get them in the camera, the big things. But I don't want to use that much. I just want to sort of mist this more than. Right, I'm going to dry those before I do anything else. These have some really cool effects on them with the black brush show. I mean, that's just the black brush show, but it brings out all different colours in the brush show. And again, because there's some background showing of the original card. And this time I'm going to use the Nuvo Micro Mist, which is just like a gold. And I'm going to try and get some of this on here, on these. Again, my spray's not working, but I wouldn't particularly want to spray this on, as it would, you know, give probably too much cover. I did just want some splashes. But again, with this, I managed to spray everything but what I'm actually trying to spray. Have I got any on that one? I'm not sure. Yeah, a little bit more everywhere else, but a little bit on there. So I don't know whether I need to. These are still a bit wet, so I am just going to go over these in a minute and just dry them again. I'm going to stop the video and then I will put it back on when these are completely dry. And then we can start to do something else with them then. But they are looking very effective. So I'll be back shortly. Hello, I'm back to you. These are the ones that I did with the black brush show, and they're lovely and dry now. I had to dry because I'd put quite a lot of water on them and they were only card. I had to give them a really good dry. So this is the effects you get, and some of them are quite dull in the background. And now the first thing I want to do is dull them a little bit more and then try something different to see if I can bring some of the brightness back. So I'm just going to go, and this one is black soot that I'm using around the edge. Don't want to use Vintage Photo on this. I mean, butterflies usually have like a black shadow around the edge or a black image around the edge, so in a minute when I've done this around the edges. Let's have a look. As I say, I really do. I hope I'm in screen. I've just realised I'm working away. Move my camera again a bit, and I have to remember to keep checking. I want to do something with. So I've got a lot of these Nuvo drops that I got from my card making days, and I never really used a lot of them because you have to leave them to dry naturally, because if you put the hot gun on them, they bubble and break up, but that's a really cool effect on these. So that's what I thought I would do. I'd have a go at that and try and dry them. I mean, if you're doing them really thick, then obviously you do need to dry them a little bit as well, but you can sort of heat them and you get this cool effect. So this one that I'm just going to use, I'm going to use this, they're all glitter ones that I'm using. This is chocolate fondue. Actually, I'm not going to use that first because I'm going to put this down the middle of them. I'm just going to try, if I go with this one first. It just says glitter drops and it's white buzzard, so it's got like a white effect to it. So I'm going to, if I can get it out. Oh, that was where there were a lot of this. Hopefully I'll just bring back a little bit of colour, a bit of brightness, and all I'm going to do is sort of drag it across the butterfly a bit. Don't want to leave it too thick. Like that. I don't know whether you can see in the camera what that's bringing up. I'm going to do the same with this one. And I'm just literally sort of going backwards and forwards with it across on top of the stenciling marks from the gesso. I'm just going across this in a zigzag pattern, just any random pattern, it's nothing. Just to give sort of a brighter effect when it dries, hopefully. And they go like transparent, so they pick up the colours underneath. They're picking up some of the colours that was sprayed on, so I like that. And then just down the middle on these ones, I'm going to sort of for its head and the middle bit, I'm going to use this chocolate fondue. Now this is obviously a thicker bit. I hope you're going to forgive me for this, because I'm not going to take the sound of the dryer out on this one, because I just want to show you the effect when it bubbles a bit. Normally you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that if you was making card making. Well, not unless you wanted that effect. So I am just going to get my tools so they don't go flying all over the place. I might have to do one at a time actually, because they do. Oh, and then I go drop that on the mat. That wasn't what I meant to do. Right, so I'm just going to give this a dry, and hopefully you can see where it's bubbling. Just see if I can bring the camera down even further. Sorry if it wobbles after I've done it. I've just brought it right in a minute just to see if you can see what happens. I'm just going to let the heat tool get hot. And then go in quite close, but just watch you don't burn your paper. Move it a little bit, but try and concentrate it as well in one area, and it'll start to bubble. I'm holding it with this tool. Can you see it bubbling in this top? You see how it's bubbling now? Oh, it is all over now, look on that side. Oh, and the middle, look, really big bubbles. And just come off it a minute and go back on again. Let it dry out. I think that's had enough, that one. So that is very, very hot. So I'm just... You see it's bubbling. I'm letting it bubble, but I don't want it to burn. So once it bubbles, I just move it away a bit, let it settle a minute, and then I'm going in a bit higher now. They won't be completely dry though. You will have to leave them to dry a little bit, but I just wanted to show you the bubbling effect. So if you want that bubbling effect on them, just to give another, as I say, I wouldn't have wanted that on my cards, but on this, let's see if I can just bring them up slightly more. Can you see? You see the bubbling effect? You can on this one because it's actually stood right off it. Let's have a look. See on that one? I've got like this bubbling effect going on, especially down that middle. I really like that. Really like it. It's even turned the card up a little bit, but I really like those two. So that gives a lot of different dimension as well. And I just thought, well, I'm going to use them. I'm not going to let them. Now the problem I've got is where I put them when I've done them. So I'm not going to dry anymore just on the camera. A couple of these I thought I might do a bit of stamping on as well. Not much because they've got a lot going on, but just a little bit. Right, so now on these I'm just going to do a bit of stamping. Not much because I say there is quite a lot going on and it won't pick up on it very much. It's just a little text stamp that I've got from a Tim Holtz set. And I'm just doing a little bit. I'm just doing one on these. I'm doing all the same because they all look different anyway. You can't see it a great deal, you can only see it a little bit, but it just gives another layer. I'm going to do that on there. And then I'm not going to put shimmer on them all, but I am going to put some shimmer on some of them. Again, these ones I think I'm going to do it just probably down the middle of these. Now, the other thing I did with the Nuvo drops, this is just the flat colour, it's got no glitter in it. And I did quite like just putting the ordinary black one down the middle. But as I say, they have to either, you can get that bubbly effect if you want. I might choose to do some after, but I'm not going to do them on camera. I will show you them at the end though if I've decided to dry some of them a little bit with the heat tool, or whether I just leave them. It depends how many I've got, because I did one video and then it didn't work. I've had to go in and do another one. But these do look really effective when they've got this middle. Can you see me actually doing this? Just literally squeezing a bit of this and then dragging it down a bit so it's not too high up. Now if you do get these a bit higher up than you want, you don't want to rub it off. What you can do is just hold on to the wing and just gently flap it like that. Flap it. Butterfly. Oh dear. But anything, cards or anything, if you do that, it just flattens the colour out a little bit and you don't get it quite so ridged up. Right, this one here, I think I'm going to put a little bit, only a very little bit though, hopefully, if I can squeeze gently, just around this edge as well. I don't want this too prominent. Some of them I've done this and I've got a real dark ridge around the edge, but I don't want it on this one. I want it there, I want to be able to see it, but I don't want it too thick or too solid. Just want it to look like that. And then down the middle. You can always come back and put a bit more in if you've got a funny shape with them. But just another way to use up bits that you'll probably have, especially if you've been a card maker and then you've changed like me to do something completely different. or you might have bought them to try them out. But I found with these things that, you know, they're quite, you know, when you've got a lot of them, it's cost a lot of money, and then you stop using them. I just thought, well, I'm going to get them out and see what I can do. And then when I saw these shapes of these butterflies, I thought, oh, that's ideal. I'll have a go with them all on here and see what they do. So this one I've done a bit thicker, just to show you different ways of doing it. And I've used none of the glitter in this one yet. You can always go back in later when this has dried and put a bit of the flatter, not flatter, the glitter that goes transparent. See, that's what I do. Look, lint on one. Oh, thought it was too good to be true that I hadn't done that. I am just so clumsy with it. It's one of the reasons I didn't use it on cards, because obviously it ruins the cards then when you've done that. So I stopped using it because I just wasn't very good with it. I'm too impatient and too clumsy. Right, I'm just going to move those out of the way and have a look at these others then. So I'll take the wet stuff. So this was the first batch that I did last night, and with the first lot of that, you actually saw me actually putting the patterns on these, but then you didn't see me paint them because I said the video didn't work. So I've got a few of those there, and then these ones are two that I didn't go any further with and do anything else. Of those, there were the blue ones. Can you remember? Let me see if I can find. I didn't leave. Oh, I might have left one. Oh, yeah, here. That was the top layer. And then the underneath layer had like the glitter. You can just see it on the edge. And I said, oh, I was going to do something. So I gessoed them. And then I used those same colours. I used those same colours on these. But look how different they've turned out. And they've gone really, really grungy. The ones that were split didn't take very well at all. In fact, I don't think I've even saved them to show you. I think possibly because they were plastic and I heated them, they actually shriveled right up and burnt. So I learnt my lesson with these two. I think I've got probably one other one left that I managed to keep, but the two little halves, I got the heat gun a bit close to them and they shriveled right up. So I thought, oh, I might keep them and just put them on one of the cards, but then I decided not to. Right, so these, I want to do something on them. That one's just got blue on. It's not got any other colour on. So, and that one's got a bit of blue and yellow on. So I'm just going to move these out the way for a second so I can decide on each one what I'm going to do. So rather than do any more painting and spraying different colours, I thought I would go in with some of the Nouveau drops. I'm just looking what colour to put. I'm going to try, because I wanted the blue and yellow effect. I've got some yellow sparkly ones, and that's called Yellow Bird, Glitter Drops Yellow Bird. So I'm just going to go in on some of the white gesso here with a little bit of the yellow and just sort of go over the swirly bits on this one and just pick up I'm not covering it completely, I'm just going over some of that. And that does look quite effective. Really, really pretty. I'm not going to do the middle bit at the minute on these because I just want to let them dry. This one's got more, so I'm going to go with that. Well, I don't know what colour this one is. Oh, Emerald City. I'm going to try this one on this one here, because it hasn't got much of the blue colour on, it's got more yellow. So I'm just going to do a little bit. This hasn't got much of the texture from the gesso and the stenciling. It's got a little bit on the edge, but oh no, this isn't one I've done with the stencil. This is one where I've just scraped a bit of gesso on it. So all I'm doing with this is just making like little marks all over it, like the markings on a butterfly. I'm just sort of dragging it up so that it isn't too thick. And then I'll do the middle after. So I've just done that on there just to try it. See what it's like. I know they're glittery, but they will look sort of grungy as well. They will when I finish with them, because I should be getting that heat tool on them now. I know what it does. So I'm going to just do this. Now these two, that was just where I wiped the stencil, so they've got the tiniest little bit of swirly from the stencil, not very much at all, not much dimension. So what do I do with these to do something? Again, I think that one I'm going to just put some colour on. I don't know what colour to try on. I think I'm going to, because I've got so many, I'm just trying them out really. What's this one? This is Gold Coast, it's called. It's like a whitey colour with a bit of gold in. So I'm just going to try this. The reason I'm doing this as well is because you might have some of these, but you might not have them all. I mean, I haven't got them all, but I've got quite a few. As I say, I had a subscription to a card kit, which was absolutely wonderful, but I just got fed up of doing card. Well, not fed up, I just wanted to try something different, and I love mixed media, and I wanted to do something that I could sort of combine the two. And junk journaling just appealed to me. As soon as I saw, I mean, as I say, I had a look at scrapbooking, which I've done a bit of scrapbooking, but it was a bit too precise for me, quite a bit of measuring in the bits I did anyway, and I don't like measuring, so junk journaling just appealed to me. And I can't leave it alone. I'm fascinated with mixed media and junk journaling. I really do like the effect of these. Now that's the Gold Coast, and I think it's got some glimmer in it, but it'll go sort of transparent and it'll pick up the blue underneath. So that's another one I've just tried out. Now these two here, I don't know whether to go with a completely different colour and just see what it does. Just go a bit bizarre with it. What's this one here? This one's called Honey Gold. Shall we give it a go? This is on the ones that didn't pick much of the... So I'm just going to see what this looks like. And just sort of swirl it round all over it. Not covering it completely, leaving gaps in between, but just as if it was the markings of the butterfly. I've never seen any butterflies with these markings, but there you go. And do what you like when you're making them yourself. Oh, that is really pretty. That is really pretty. I hope you can see how lovely that looks. I just love this. And I do urge you, if you've got these things, it doesn't have to be on butterflies, on anything, just give it a go. Just try them. If they're going to be wasted, you know, if you're not going to use them, give it a go and see what you think. You know, it's all about having a bit of fun and, you know, getting the enjoyment out of things you do. That's what I like. I don't worry too much about the middle, because the middle I am going to put some black or something down the middle, or some glitter or something down the middle, but I absolutely love those. My biggest problem is finding somewhere for them to dry. Right, let's get those on here and get them out the way, because I'm fascinated with them. I just love them. They are just so pretty. Right, let me swap over and see if I can find somewhere to dry stuff. Right, so they're ones that I'd gone ahead and done something. I've got hundreds of butterflies now because I went ahead and did some. So I'm going to turn this over and see if I've got a cleaner piece so you can see more what I'm doing. So I say these are the ones that that survived from the glitter. There's 2 of those, and then there's just 2 ordinary ones, and these are the ones I did earlier with you on camera where I did these. Some of them have got the swirly bits from the stencil, and some are just gessoed on them, and these are obviously different colours than the others, and they're quite bright and they're quite pretty, and I really love them. So I'm not going to use the Nuvo drops on these, only for the middles probably, but not to cover them. I'm going to do something a bit different with these. She says, what's she going to do different? Let me think. I think I'm going to start by... Let's have a look at this one and see what it does if I put a bit of black on. I'm just going to move these in just to clear this cloth. Cloth, not cloth. Oh, I'm going to move them off completely. So try and get that in the bin. Most of it went on the floor, even though I was aiming it over the bin. Right then, these, I need them back on here. Oh, I've just hurt my arm. I've just tried to twist round and move my arm. Oh, it's no fun getting hold of everything. Oh, gosh. Ow. That hurts. So, some of these, say they're all different colours. Look at the little tiny one there, that's cute. So I'm going to do some with, now the ones that have already got stenciling on from the gesso, I'm obviously not going to stencil on. So we'll get those to one side, which is those. And then these have just got gesso on, but they're not, it's not stenciled. So I'm going to move those out the way. And then these here are just so pretty. Look at those, how gorgeous they are. Oh, I'm going to have so much fun on. Some of the bigger ones I'll probably put on the covers, but the others I will put, I might make some, I don't know yet. I'll leave that until I decide what I'm going to do. You'll have to watch another video to see what I do. Right, so I'm just going to go in with some of this text on these ones because they've already got a lot going on in the background with the stenciling. It's lovely, this little. It's only very small. Little Tim Holtz with a little bit of text on. It's a mushroom set that I got, and I shall be using the mushrooms in another one. And right, so they look really nice, just with the bit of stamping on. I've only done one stamp on those. I'm just going to move those off the screen a bit. I'll show you them again. Oh, I might put a bit more on this one. Just on this bottom bit of the butterfly. And I think they're just lovely as they are. I'm not going to do anything else then. I'm going to move those just off the screen and move my inks and things out the way. And then I've got some stenciling to do on these ones, I think. So let me have a look. Where did I put that stencil? I wanted to use the same stencil. Oh, it's here. I left them to dry after I washed them last night. Right, so let's have a look. I've got two. I've got that one that I used. Well, I think I used them both with the gesso, actually. I think I used them both. That was the one I showed you on camera. And then this is the one I did last night, just to try something a bit different. So, the bigger ones. That one's curled up a little bit. Oh, there's a big van, a big lorry or something just reversing out here. So I do apologise in advance, because if he hears it, it's woke him up. He'll be going off to bark. Right then, let's have a look. I want, what do I want on this one? I think I'm going to go with the black soot. I don't quite like this black soot. Right, so again, I just sort of lay it across 2 or 3. And then get some on me. Oh, you can't see me. It would really help if I was in screen. Oh. So I've moved my camera and I will get it right, and I'll get it in a position that I don't feel I have to move it. But at the moment, I just need somebody to help me put a bracket and a shelf up so it can go just slightly behind me, and it would be a lot better. My hands wouldn't be in the way then. Just have a little bit more there. We'll show you them a bit clearer in a minute. So although they are quite sparkly, I have changed them completely, because they were sparkly originally and glittery, but they're more my style than they were before. They've got 2 lots of stenciling on. They've got the stenciling from the gesso and the stenciling, the dry stenciling, but they look nice. But that wasn't what I meant to do with those. So I'm going to just put a bit of stamping on those as well. Put some of this text, just another layer. Yep. So they're the ones that I wasn't going to stencil but did. That's fine, get those out the way now. And then these ones I've stenciled. These 2 I have stenciled, and because they're just the gesso in the background. Sorry if I'm confusing you, saying one thing and doing another. Well, this isn't picking up on the stamp as much because it's quite dark. You can see it, but they have really taken well. So that's got the dry stenciling and then some stamping, and so has that one. And then these here, let's have a look. So these are just the flat gesso, where I've covered in various bits of gesso, and I'm going to use this other stamp on here. You see, if I'd used that other stencil on those, it would have looked even more different because it was 2 different stencils, but I happened to use the same. Well, the video stopped recording again, and I'm not sure where, so I'm just using another stencil here, and I'm just tapping over with the black soot, and I'm sort of doing several at once so they get different marks on them. I'm going to have to check how much I lost. Hopefully not too much on this one. There we go. No, that one didn't get much at all, so I'm just going to go in separately can just do that one and just a little bit on this one separately. That's it, and then I'm going to and these are some that I've done earlier on the other video, but I want a bit of stamping on them. So they're all different colours and all different variations, and that is one of the ones that I said where I'd burnt them. So I did have, so I think I only burnt the 2 halves. I think that's all I burnt. So that's those left there, and I'm going to put something else on those in a minute. I'm going to bring something else in. Right, on these, I'm going to try, this stamp is out the mushroom set as well, and it's just got little dots on it, but it does look quite effective. So I'm just going to put some of those on here. Look at that, with the spots on. I like them. This one I'm going to put some text on. Oh, he's heard his dad moving, so he's gone to check on him. He's lovely. If he hears any movement, he goes and checks on him. I'm in the room next door, so I can hear him real plain, but Oscar likes to go and have a look. He's a real faithful little thing. There we go. Now, although they are quite sparkly, they're very grungy. And I love them. Absolutely love them. Right, that's those. And then just the last ones that I wanted to do are these ones. That was that really in-your-face glittery. Oh, that one isn't, but it still needs doing. Really in-your-face glittery. And now so I gessoed over these. That one I have already stamped up because it was the first one, but these two I haven't. So I used some of this dotty one again because I really liked this. Just love the effect of it. And I'm going to do the same on that one. And I'm not going to put any text on those, but I just like those. Just excuse my disgusting hands. They're filthy. I'm not happy in this. I mean, last night I was covered all up my arms in black and yellow and had been spraying and got it all over myself. Yeah, and that was the original one I did. And I like they're all slightly different. Like that too. So that's those. Oh, this was just one that's got, don't quite know what's happened to this one. It's just not got a lot of anything on. Got a bit of colour in the background, but not much. So this is just going to have the dots on and a little bit. I don't think I've even gone around the edges of this one, so we'll just black up. Trouble is I get the mess all over my mat then. Just give a little bit, and that's just a real sort of dark one there. So I think that one, I'll leave that to one side because off camera I'm going to put a bit of glitter. Now, if you remember, when I was doing these, I used some book pages and I got some sprays like this. And, oh, it's here. This one, this is the colours that I'd got on here and how I'd sprayed it. And then what I've done is I've just cut some butterflies out of that, and it's just literally got some of that pattern on it on there. And I'm going to use them as well because I just think they're just paper on the back. But how effective they look with those sprays, and then the little bit of, it looks like it's been stenciled or stamped on, but it's literally just some of that plant. And I just really liked that, so I thought, oh, I'll come and show you. I think there should be two because I've cut two out, but the other one, because I've had the heat tool on, things get blown about. Oh, is that it? Oh yeah, that's it. Look, that's the other one. That's just got a bit of pink. Oh, there we are. There's the camera, and it's got a bit of the leaf effect on it, and I just thought that was really pretty too. So that's it for now. I will show you as I'm actually using these. I should be using them shortly. I've got hundreds of butterflies now, so I will come back to you and show you what I'm doing. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back to you shortly. Bye.